Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With. Welcome, welcome to Speak On It with Who You With. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With. Welcome to Speak On It. 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 Welcome to Speak. 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 Who you with, Kurt Dog?
Yo, what's going on? It's Thursday night. What's going on with Miss Risky in
Nothing
the
wrong.
house tonight?
Just
Man,
bopping.
how you like the new theme song we have?
I almost started twerking, but in the space I'm in, the
It was
camera and the lights will be down.
exactly. We had some technical issue. Couldn't get the video to upload, but the video will be on by the next show. So, want to shout out to my boy. Y'all know who he is. Sean Martin, who put that together for me. He actually surprised me a while back about it. So shout out to him. And trying to get everything squared away, get the video done on it. Hopefully by Sunday, I will have it done correctly. So we back again. Thursday night.
You
Man,
know,
it's been a crazy week this week.
yes, it has.
Hopefully you had a great week. Um,
It was all right. It was all right. So, it started out kind of bumpy with somebody parking in my assigned parking spot.
ooh.
Yeah. So, my apartment, they don't accommodate a lot of, like, they don't have a lot of free open spots. So, yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
was not
amazing.
good.
Amazing how they don't have free spots for you with all
Right.
the money that you pay.
Right. They don't want
Um,
us to have any visitors.
exactly. Um, man, what you sipping on tonight? Cause it's been a crazy week, and I have to give me a little cocktail tonight.
Well, I'm finishing off my apothic cab. So hopefully they see this. I sent them a message on Instagram telling them I'll be sipping their beverage during our show. Hopefully they'll sponsor us because, I do appreciate their wines and their support.
Well, I'm still hanging out with my homeboy, uh, Paul, my son, Peach, and did something a little bit different this time. Last week I did Parmesan with Crown Apple, and this week I think she did Crown Grape. So very tasty. Something
Mhm.
about the fruit flavors mixed together tastes good.
Of course.
Um, man, this has been a crazy week for me, and just
Yeah.
been extremely crazy. Want to welcome everyone to the show. Um, Welcome, TCal. I'm sorry I had it on the wrong screen. She said the intro is on point. I appreciate it. Let us know how you feel about the intro that we did. The theme song that my boy Sean Martin did for me, and let us know how you felt about it. Um, I think I'm gonna throw another quick. I'm gonna ask the same question I did the other day, because the other night it was a short show. Um, what celebrity that you have a crush on as a child? Me personally, I love Brenda, Regina King from 227. Been loving her ever since. Matter of fact, she's coming out with a new movie pretty soon. Or she just came out with one. So definitely check her out. Um, I love her shows. Anything she do, I love it. So,
Yeah, I like her
um,
too.
but
I
what about
don't know. I
you?
had I had a lot of crushes as a child. I don't know. The one I think of, because even now I'm just like, that was a good looking white man. James Franciscus. I'm gonna make you Google him. he
I'll
was
take
from
your
Planet of
word
the
for it.
Apes 2,
Oh, Planet 8.
Beneath the Planet. Listen, I love that series. Well, I like the first two, and then I like the one with Caesar. I don't like the Mark Wahlberg one. It was just okay, but there was a disconnect. I don't know where they got that from. But the original Planet of the Apes, when I was a kid, James Franciscus was he was like the only blonde man that I've ever loved in my life.
Okay.
And just looking at him now, and he passed on a while ago, but Google him. That was a classically good looking man.
I take your word for it.
When I was what, 8? That was it.
uh, hold on. I'm trying to pull them up.
You're trying to Google him. You need me to spell his name for you? I was gonna be Latanya Franciscus.
Well, hey, got to start somewhere. Um, so tonight we getting a late start tonight due to technical issue. Was
And
trying to
you
get
almost
the
cut into my bedtime.
yeah, I know. Blame it on the knowledge of uploading the video. For
Getting there
some
though.
yeah, for some reason the I guess I put it in the wrong format, and so I'm gonna have some work to work on it. Have some of my friends who does that type of work send it to them, see if they could change that format for me. Um, but hey, I love the song. It was dope. Um, and just imagine once you see the video of it, it's gonna be like, ooh. So it's definitely gonna be good. And so let's get in this week. It's been a lot of crazy stuff. We're going to talk about the Sand Creek Massacre.
Yeah, we're going to
Um,
give a little history lesson at the beginning of class.
exactly.
Since we're talking about all the massacres that is known in the United States, I wanted to start with the Native Americans because, they were here before us and they suffered just as much as we did. So I want to, you know, bring knowledge to what, some of their people went through. So at Sand Creek in Colorado territory in 1864, the Cheyenne village of around 800 or so, they were supposed to be a protected territory. Chief Black Kettle had brokered a deal with a nearby U.S. Army fort um, for his people's safety. But, of course, they kind of bamboozled him. uh, Colonel John Shivington had decided that winning battles against local Native American tribes was the best way to become a territorial delegation or delegate with Congress. Um, and so he used 700 volunteer militia to burn down Native American villages. And on November 29th, just one day after Black Kettle's deal, the Colorado Volunteers attacked Sand Creek. Nearly all of the Cheyenne men were out hunting during this time, leaving women, children, and elders with no protection in the village to protect them. Um, and they say about 100 to 400 Native Americans were slaughtered that day. Although Shivington was denounced by much of the country, he was never formally charged with anything having to do with that massacre, which kind of goes with the theme of like the Black Lives Matter, Breonna Taylor sleeping in her room, and still no charges have been brought um, forth on the officers who killed her. Um, but Incidentally, I think you talked about this on your last show. They reached a settlement with the Louisville, Kentucky reached a settlement, $12 million for her family. So I guess to kind of, since they're dragging their feet on bringing charges on the officers who were clearly wrong, especially the one, Kenneth Walker. Let me see. Is that his name? Let me make sure I get the names right. No, Detective Brett Hankinson. He was terminated for blindly opening fire into Taylor's home from outside. So she was killed from an outside bullet while she was sleeping in her room.
Blindly?
Blindly. So he's
Mm.
just, so I'm just like, he's outside. What are you shooting at?
He didn't care.
Clearly.
He didn't care. And that's also the same officer that lied to the judge to get the warrant too, right?
I think so, yeah, because it was a no-knock warrant that was being executed. Um, and so, yeah, there's still no charges on any of the officers, and he did the kill shot for Breonna. Yeah.
And welcome to the show, SAL.
They are saying that a grand jury will review a criminal case to determine if any of the officers involved will have charges. But I mean, it's been it's like
It's
the
been
year's
too
almost over.
long.
Yeah, the year's because this took place March 13th.
March. Yeah.
Yeah, March 13th, and so I mean, at least they've settled and given the families some monetary compensation, but still, like the officers were wrong. And no matter what she may have done in her past, she was in her bed. She posed no threat. And why are you
Exactly.
shooting from outside in? Like
And
it
then,
could have been a kid. It could have been anybody.
then on top of that, it took them a while to get her some help.
Oh yeah.
And here it is, this coward. Um, this was not the first incident he did something like this.
Right.
Last year, it was an incident where they did another no knock warrant on another black family home. And if you follow me on Facebook, you can actually see the video of that where it was a husband and wife and three kids, I believe. And they actually still having nightmares. It's a lawsuit going on now where luckily no one was killed, but at the same time, the same officer, it was five officers that was involved with Breonna Taylor death, did that first no knock warrant. Um, so the thing is, it's a problem up there in Louisville. It's it's
Just the
definitely a
emotional trauma that they're causing these families. Like the PTSD's got to be like up here. Like every time you see a cop, like your stress levels are through the roof. And they wonder why people react a certain way when officers approach. Like I would be tense as well, knowing the history. And it's not all cops, yeah, I get it, but like what the Facebook memes going around, like you fit the description,
exactly
like you never know.
by the color of your skin, you automatic guilty.
Right.
Hell, look at the cop that came out, I guess, over the last couple of days in California, where she alleged that this young man ran a stop sign. As he pulled up to the house, he got out the car and she came on the loudspeaker, told him to stop. And when she told him to stop, he stopped. His parents heard what was going on. The mother came out to find out what was going on. And basically, she said he ran the stop sign. She automatically told her son, give her your license, your insurance, your registration. Gave it to the officer. This officer stood out there for like 15 minutes. Claimed she was waiting for backup. and the mother was like, back up for what?
Exactly.
Well, because you've been threatened. Threatened about what? Just give my son the ticket and we'll take it to court and we will handle it.
Exactly.
But at
Take
the
them out.
same time, you standing there with your hand on your gun, looking at them, not doing your job,
Just trying to start something.
and hoping that he move or they move where she can shoot. Now, I feel like the first time she called for backup, she didn't call because it don't take 15 minutes for a backup to come. That's just ridiculous for someone to call for backup and it take 15 minutes. So
Exactly.
I don't think she actually called the first time. I don't think she actually called until the young lady asked for the supervisor to come
Right.
out. Once she asked for the supervisor, she didn't have a choice but to call. Now she want to say, hey, well, this, that, or whatever. And then once the other cops got there, they didn't make it no better. Because here it is, they expect for this mother to be calm after being outside in front of this officer for 15 minutes. And this young man is standing there like a statue, not moving because they don't know what this cop is going to try to do.
Exactly.
So when it's like that, here it is over 15 minutes later, backup get there and they expect for this woman to be calm. Calm was 2 or 3 minutes after he got there, 5 minutes the most. But you wait until after 15 minutes to call for backup, and then it was a lot of them that showed up.
And then, like, that's excessive. It's a routine traffic stop.
Exactly.
Like, if he went over, check for warrants, check for whatever you need to, and keep it moving.
She didn't do none of that.
None of that. Just stood there with the documents in hand, waiting.
And then for the 911 operator, because the first video I seen was only 2 minutes long, but it's one out that is like 22 minutes long. I seen that one. And the woman, she called 911, and the 911 officer talking about why is she asking stupid questions, talking about, well, did he run the stop sign? Well, if he did or didn't, we
Right.
asking her to give the ticket and we'll take it
Exactly.
to court and solve this issue.
Exactly.
So this is the mentality that some of these cops have that try to intimidate people to do things, and in particular black people. They try to intimidate them for once they respond the same way they respond, it becomes a problem.
Right.
And at this point, we're tired.
Exactly.
We're tired. That's
And
why
then who's to say it wasn't like a rookie hearing all, well, not so much a rookie, but like someone who's heard all the rumors. Oh, if you're going to this area, so he already has preconcerns, pre, I can't even speak right now.
prejudgment.
Yeah, so yeah, and he's thinking, oh, all black people are criminals, so something's gonna pop off, and then nothing happens, and they're just waiting there, and it's like, well, it's gonna happen now. Well, maybe I should get backup just in case. And it's like, no, it like certain situations, you need to be on the same scale. Like a traffic ticket, there's no red alert, no nothing. But you took a little ticket and took it to, what is it, DEFCON 5? Is that what they say? DEFCON 5.
Exactly.
It's like that is not a DEFCON 5 situation. Yeah, so I think that he had a preconceived notion that he, the person, just based on race or age or whatever, and what he's seen and heard, was going to pop off at any moment, and he just took it to a level that it should have been. Like,
It,
just get a ticket. Like, are you new? Do you need help on trying to figure out how to type in a ticket on your computer? Like, why did you need backup? It was unnecessary.
it was unnecessary, very unnecessary. And for this officer who was a female, she could have written a ticket and
Exactly.
been gone.
5 minutes.
Top.
Run it, be gone. Because I'm sure they already ran, started typing up before you even reached the car. Typed in the license plate to see if they had tickets or warrants or whatnot. Because it takes a minute. Like, I've been pulled over a few times in my life. And it takes them a minute to get to that car, and you never know which window they coming through. Like, like I'm always looking at the wrong one. I'm like, oh, there you are. But yeah, it's like they already know whether or not you have warrants, and then they check your insurance and whatnot, and then keep it moving. They let you know what you did and what you're getting a ticket for, or not getting a ticket for, and maybe give you a warning.
Well, that's another problem that she brought up. She kept asking the young man, "Do you have warrants? Are you on parole, probation, anything like that?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "No." But she still did not go and run his ID
Yeah, at all.
and write the ticket and go on. So you telling me every time you pull over a car, you intimidated. You're gonna have to call for
Exactly.
backup every time.
Every time.
But you may not need to be on traffic patrol.
Exactly.
If you that scared, matter of fact, you shouldn't even be a cop.
You should be a meter maid.
She probably don't even need to be that. And and then she had the nerve to stand there with a back the blue bandana on, and you could tell she had some type of tattoo on her arm, but she had to get it covered up. So I'm just wondering, what is her background like? And I didn't get a chance to call today. I've been doing so much, but trust me, I'm gonna call and find out what's going on, what they're gonna do with this officer. Um, Welcome the guests on Speak on it with Who You With, Kurt Dog. You're on the page. I cannot see your name. Drop your name in the chat. Also, the question for tonight: what celebrity did you have a childhood guest on? I mean, I said
Yes.
childhood guest.
Uh,
That's Paul. I'm sorry, Paul talking. My bad. Um,
I know these drinks are hitting harder since we delayed the show for a minute. Like,
exactly.
we don't usually get to this point until later.
So, got a message from KB on YouTube. What are you talking about tonight? Tonight we talked about Sand Creek Massacre, um, the Breonna Taylor um, settlement, and why that officer haven't been arrested yet. We just talked about the incident that happened in California, where the female cop, she actually scared to do her job and held a family. Well, she's pulled the young man over that actually, she said he ran a stop sign. He was being cooperative with her, but gave her his ID, insurance, registration, refused to give him the ticket, and just stood there with a hand on the gun, watching him and his family, which she don't need to be a cop because she's scared. And we're going to talk about Karen, and then we're going to talk about Cal Rittenhouse and one of Dallas Independent School here at W.T. White, the assignment they had about him. So now, if it's something you want us to hit on, definitely put it in the chat. We could talk to you about it, regardless of which platform you're on. Definitely put it in the chat. We can roll with it. But as for that officer, that throws up another question. No, I'm not talking about that one, but they asked if
Yeah,
you
I
mean
saw
the
that
woman
one.
cop that was shot in the mouth in that ambush. No, I'm not. This happened yesterday, day before yesterday, I believe. It was actually. I will give you that information in just a minute. What city it was, because it never should have happened. and it was basically this cop was throwing her weight around. Um, Never should have happened where she held this family basically with her hand on a gun and trying to intimidate them. Um, we say all the time this is a live show, so sometimes questions may come in. We may have to pull them up while we live on the show. Um, so that's what I'm doing now. I'm trying to make sure I get the correct city and da, 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 da. Elk Grove, California. Elk Grove, California, where this officer, um, she actually helped this family, refused to give the ticket. If he ran the stop sign, the mother is saying, hey, if he ran the stop sign, go ahead and give us the ticket. We'll take care of it and go from there. But she refused to give it. Instead, she stood there for over 20 minutes with her hand on her gun, said she was waiting for backup. Well, over 15 minutes because the video was 22 minutes long. So, as for the cop that was shot, uh, from the last time I checked, they are gonna survive. I do not promote violence, so if hate that it happened, hopefully they catch the person that did it. I talked about that the other day, where the sheriff decided to ask LeBron James to match the reward money, and I don't know if he decided to respond or not. But at the same time, that's two different incidents. That's We're talking about Black Lives Matter, and he want them to give a reward for something to support, um, a reward to find the person who done this. But at the same time, in the last 2 weeks, LA County Sheriff have shot and killed two people and also injured one. But you asking for somebody who's standing for Black Lives Matter to give a reward out, I don't see it, because here it is. How about y'all doing what's right about these family? One of the guys was riding on a bike and got pulled over for a bike violation, and I'm still trying to find that out because I ride bikes occasionally, and if there's some bike violation going on, I need to know, because
Right,
I don't want to mess around and my wife get a call telling me, hey, he had a bike violation and we had to shoot him.
right.
So, um, so no, we're not talking about that particular cop. This was another young lady, who addressed this young man with a back the blue bandana on, and that's the question I ask. I understand supporting the police, but should they be allowed to wear a back the blue bandana at work? Because what if one decide to wear a Breonna Taylor mask, or even wear a Black Lives Matter mask? Should it be allowed? Because if not, she shouldn't be able to wear back the blue
Well,
bandana.
I know that with the before this Black Lives Matter movement started taking place, they would give out back the blue T-shirts, and they had bumper stickers. So I think it was something that was approved by the department, like that was acceptable. I may be wrong with that, but I saw that a lot because there's a lot of things that they can't really do any personalization with their uniform. It has to be a uniform, and consistent. And there are certain things that they will and will not allow. And I think that is something that they will allow. But I could be wrong, but I know this Back the Blue has been around for a while.
Um, it actually started.
Because I
It
want to say it
actually
was during that shootout, wasn't it? Or was it just before downtown Dallas area?
no, it
It
actually
was,
started after Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter started July the 13th, 2013. Back the Blue started December the 20th, 2014.
okay.
So, and that was in a response to Black Lives Matter, and it actually um, started after a New York police officer um, was killed in New York. So, this was a counteract for Black Lives Matter. So, once again, should it be worn? Should it be allowed? Because here it is. You
Like, I
you
wouldn't mind that big if, they police themselves. Because they put their lives on the line. Like, they're on the front lines. And they face, like, we don't know what they face on a daily. That's not all, like, donuts and coffee every day. Like, we have bad people, and bad people do crazy things. Just like cops, there's some crazy cops that do crazy things, but
exactly.
it's a small subculture of them who do that. So we shouldn't penalize like the whole for the few. Like they shouldn't penalize all black people or people of color for a small group of criminals or just bad people. Like
Well,
it goes both ways. But
well, that's another thing. With the incident that happened in Elk Grove, California, once the backup arrived, they sent a lot of people out there. At some point, somebody should have said, "Hey, what's the
is
reason
this
why you need
necessary?
backup?
Right. It's
What's
a
going on?"
right. Like what's going on? You were trying to give a ticket and what? Did he hostile? And if the threat level is minimal or not non-existent, then you don't need backup. Yeah, maybe your partner who's following you around can pull up and you can have two cars, two people. Fine. I'm fine with that because, sister's a police officer and that's what they did back in the day. They just followed each other. But it
Exactly.
was only two people, it's one per car. And they just followed each other, you
Well,
know?
because
And that's it. But to have like five, six, seven cars and 15 people, that's ridiculous.
exactly, and um to mess around and call all those officer out. Look at how much money they spent for that one call that could have been taken care of within 5, maybe 10 minutes. Even the mother said, "We're not a threat. We're her and her husband was in a pajama." So just imagine, and the mother mentioned this. I'm glad it happened here because if he would have been anywhere else,
Hmm.
no telling what would have happened. So that officer definitely needs to be disciplined for her action. Um, it's just
That's
sad the
excessive,
way that they do, and they feel like it's okay.
like a
So
standard.
um,
Cowboy antsy. We haven't talked about Cal yet.
we
We're
haven't
getting
got
on it. Yeah, we're
we
getting there.
haven't got to it yet, but we will be talking about it. So if you heard a while ago, you would have heard what we was going to talk about. But we getting there. So just hold your horse, cowboy from hell. Hold your horse. Since you're a cowboy, hold them. Whoa, whoa. So so I have an issue with that because I've been a victim of racial profiling. Um, here they come.
Yeah, they come back.
Yeah, well, Al Cinnamon. I've been a victim of racial profiling, and no, you okay, cowboy? I'm talking about another comment that came in, but I've been a victim of racial profiling, and like I said, I have some great police officers that told me exactly what to do. This happened 18, 19 years ago, and I also told that partner, I said, "Look, man." I understand you got to back up. You have to give backup to your partner. That's fine. But when they are in the wrong, you should correct them. Tell them, hey, that's why we need to hold policemen accountable. Don't just go with the flow, because a lot of time when we hear about certain incident, when backup come, they don't care. Only thing they hear, officer need assistance, but they don't know the full situation. And then it made the whole department look bad. So for the officers that listen to the show, hey, do the right thing. Do the right thing. Then um, we don't have to go and keep discussing these things because it's crazy. And then we have to worry about the Karens
Ugh, the Karens.
calling the
They're
police,
everywhere.
calling the police for no reason. Um, Let me read the comment. Um, KB said Cal got hit with a skateboard guy twice. Once when he caught up when Cal was still running, and second time when Cal was down. Cowboy from Hell said just got here. KB said take take you time. Supposed to be take your time. I'm playing tap sports baseball while I'm listening. Um, Cowboy for Hell said a lot of laugh, Karen. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so Karens had an incident that happened the other day.
Yeah, this took place in Houston, Texas.
Exactly.
So about, was it September 14th, this incident occurred. A black U.S. Census Bureau worker was just, going through the neighborhood, and I guess he got to this Karen's neighbor's house, and he didn't look like he belonged. And so this Karen is actually heard, like he started filming, and she's actually heard on the video saying, "What are you doing in front of my neighbor's house?" And she obnoxiously tells the man to leave because he doesn't have the right to be there. And then at one point, she's on the phone and is overheard saying that the man is trying to make a political statement.
And
I
she
don't know
also
what that meant. He didn't know what that meant. I think she was just rambling. And so that's the first part of the video you see. She's just harassing this census worker. But there's another video that it shows the end once the cops get there. And once they arrive on the scene, the officers, they were actually responding to another call that was just near a harassment call. And it may have been her harassing him. It wasn't clear on why, like, just stopped, happened upon them during this incident. And they were like, well, she never called us. We just happened to be in a neighborhood and saw a situation, and then they also stated that the woman does this all the time due to psychiatric issues. So they know this Karen is cuckoo bird. And the fact that they haven't given this family or whoever, because I'm sure she's got a caretaker or somebody that needs to get a ticket and keep her at bay or put her in a home because she's out of control. Like, really?
now I'm looking at the picture of her, and Houston get hot, Dallas get hot,
Yes, especially
but
now, it's hot.
but Houston is a different type of heat. But this woman have on
You
some
know, like,
boots with the
well, they weren't
cotton
even
mouth
just,
inside.
yeah, it was like rain boots. They
They look like
were
the
like
kind
galoshes. They were
with
just stylish.
cottons inside that is almost up to her knees, and they tied up because I can see the string on the side of it. So maybe there's some truth to that, but I think I know what would get her right. You start uh, charging these folks for abusing 911, start arresting them like the law say, give them a fine, hit them in the pocket,
Exactly. Yeah, be
it'll
quiet.
stop. It
And then they
should stop.
actually start thinking, does this warrant a call from 911? My life is not being threatened right now. Like,
Exactly.
no, like you hit them in the pocket with a ticket or a fine. That'll shut. Karens won't be able to have their wines, their happy
You don't
hours.
need no wine.
Like
It don't
they
go
don't need
good with
any of
the
that. Mm-mm,
medication.
mm-mm. They don't need
So
none of that.
um KB said DC Mayor has a net worth of 300 million. I don't know. I'm not. Hey,
That was
yeah,
random.
exactly. Um, Cowboy from Hell said, "I'm from Arizona. Texas don't know hot. How to
Yeah,
let you
y'all.
right." I,
Arizona be melting signs. Street signs be melting.
when I was driving trucks, you go through there and in the middle of the summer, boy. Woo.
Not enough freon in that vehicle.
Exactly. You better have your vehicle right. And Arizona, they hey, let's just say it's hot. Yeah, it's a different type of heat there. That dry heat. That Houston had that humid heat,
Yeah,
which is crazy. But
they're by the coast, so
uh yeah, KB. Hey KB, let your friends know we are on. Share with your friend. Keep your comment coming on. Yeah, I used to watch those shows, but what I know today, I won't be watching them. uh, yes, I want to say that's the reason why. That might be why we're still in a pandemic, because some people would do like leave it to beaver. Instead of taking a bath, they would sit on the edge of the tub and pretend like they taking a bath. But I'm just saying. Um, but they was great shows growing up. But once you find out the history of them, I'm like, I'm good. The thing they put on TV. So let's see. um, so I guess it was earlier this month or the latter part of last month. Governor Greg Abbott, um, the man for a teacher to be fired here in the Dallas area.
for a
Um,
comic or something.
well, for a homework assignment, the homework assignment where they compared uh, the KKK and slavery and compared it to policemen's today in the killing of unarmed black men. And he decided to say that teacher should be fired. Now, this just came out, I guess, today. Here in Dallas, a DISD school teacher at WT White um, decided to give a homework assignment, a book report, and had a list of so-called heroes.
Yeah, there are like 6 individuals that they could choose from, including Mahatma Gandhi, Cesar Chavez, Malcolm X, and then 3 that were kind of questionable. George Floyd was one, fine. Kyle Rittenhouse and Joseph Rosenbaum made the cut. So I guess they were comparing them. Let's see, write at least a one-page essay on which those 6 persons you believe demonstrates best your concept of a hero. And of course, the basic outline for a paper. Um, but Kyle Rittenhouse as a hero, Joseph Rosen, like we did some research on like some of these people. Like Kyle, he just got charged with murder in Kenosha for the shootings that killed 2 people. They're actually going after him first degree intentional homicide. and two counts of first-degree recklessly endangering safety, and some other things. But I had to Google Joseph Rosenbaum because I had forgotten the victims' names. And the first thing that comes up when you look him up is that a weird, just a random twist. He's like a child rapist. So it's like, in a twisted way, well, Kyle got rid of a child rapist, but he didn't know that at the time. But I'm just like, that was just a weird assignment altogether. Like, you couldn't find any other people for these children in the pick who their heroes were. Like, not even WWE. Like, I can see, like a Hulk Hogan, or, just somebody. I don't know who the wrestlers are. I only know the one. Triple H. I don't. I haven't watched wrestling in like 20 years. But yeah, it's like I had to Google, and then I was like, whoa, that took me down a dark rabbit hole. He was a
Well,
child rapist. All of them were criminals. Like, pretty much all the victims were criminals, is what it came out. But the fact that the homework assignment included a child rapist and a murderer, like,
we're gonna say we're gonna say allegedly raped a cat,
alle-
uh,
no,
a
because
child
he's
rapist.
no, because I'm looking at the court records.
Oh,
This was in 2002 or 12. Hold on. Let's see. Let me pull up the document because it was 11 counts of indecency with a child. Um, and one of the children was 15, and the other two were under 15. So yeah, I'm looking at um, I think I sent this to you, but it actually has the court document. I'll copy this and just in case. I'm not sure what I sent to you. Um, but it actually has the documents in there. But yeah, pretty much all the victims were criminals. But regardless of that situation, he should not be considered a hero. And that's what's wrong with this world today. Like, we're putting hero labels on criminals, like people who are just trying to be vigilantes, and they're in the wrong. It's like he was just out there just to cause trouble. Like, he went to another county with his gun or somebody's gun and tried to threaten people. Like, he felt it was his right to protect that community, but nobody asked him to.
well, um, Cowboy from Hell. Um, Joseph was actually from Arizona. Um, are you familiar with this? Because I'm looking and um, I'm seeing da, 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 trying to do a fact check. So because I definitely don't want to put
Yeah, that's
uh,
true.
don't want to put wrong information out there. So want to make sure. Uh,
But yeah, this was, 18 years ago. So
he was uh, da, da, like I said,
and
this
I
is
want to
a lot.
say this was the son's, the sister-in-law or his. It was somebody, but they said the son's 9 to 11 down at the bottom. The mother of one victim saw a burn mark on her son, and so there were 5 people who were interviewed, and I want to say it was the mothers and the children.
Okay. Well, we'll just say allegedly for right now, because I've heard I heard when it first happened. I know some people were saying no, that wasn't the the right guy. It was somebody else's case. So I don't know what's true, what's not, but we'll just say allegedly
Okay.
to be
I'll
on
try
the
to
safe side.
incorporate allegedly into my vocabulary.
Yeah, allegedly, because we don't want to say something happened and it didn't.
Right.
But as for Kyle Rittenhouse, for that
Yeah, he did
teacher,
it
exactly, for that teacher to put him in a category
with
of
hero
a hero,
with Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi. No, ma'am, press ham. And like just the top three, yes, I'm with it. Mahatma Gandhi, Cesar Chavez, Malcolm X. Yeah. George Floyd, Kyle, Joseph, those were stretches.
well,
Like
George
what
Floyd,
like how was he a hero?
George Floyd probably became a, I wouldn't, he became well known.
No, he wasn't a hero, but
He wasn't a hero.
he became like a symbol of just the systemic
The
abuse we take.
unjust
Yeah, for
killing,
unjust killing of black people
exactly.
or black men. So he's more of a symbol, or or um, the like. What am I trying to say? Like he opened the door, or like the Black Lives Movement was more aware and prominent. Like he was a platform. Like he became a platform. But yeah, that I mean, of all the people in all the lands in all of history, those are your six.
Yeah, I kind of think that teacher probably was. Uh,
Maybe she has some, she has some little juicy juice, some Jesus juice.
no, he was. It was a male teacher. Um,
It's just random. And I'm just like, of all people, like, okay, yeah, Paul Ford.
yeah. Um, trying to see if I can find more
He
information on him.
exemplifies a hero.
Yeah, I, I, I'm gonna say I don't know the teacher, but I think he just threw something together at the last minute. But
Clearly.
and he really, I don't
But
know.
like, even if you throw something together, like
You should know
those
better than that.
names are not like what you think of a hero. You know what I mean? Again, you got WWE, you got Black Panther, you got, if you want to go like just fictional, like just put fictional characters. Like if you don't know any, just Captain America.
He
If
could have
you
put anybody.
absolutely ran out of people, like, and you couldn't think, like superheroes, like they got hero in the name, superhero.
And I'm
Or like even like a politician, just anybody.
and I'm kind of wondering what is the school district gonna say about it. Matter of fact, I kind of want to know what uh Governor Greg Abbott gonna say about it because he called for that other teacher to be fired for telling the truth, which I feel like um the
Well,
true Black history should be taught in school.
yeah, I mean, because we've been force fed all of the other histories. So Native American and Black history, because just any history that or of the people that made up this land is a melting pot. That was the whole point of people coming here, and now it's like we're no longer united, we're divided, and
Exactly.
and we're getting more divided every day. But going back to the school assignment, if the school issued an apology, DISD issued an apology in an email statement, and they removed the assignment, so the students didn't have to complete it. So they said appropriate steps will be taken following an investigation, although it's still not clear what they mean by that. So things are moving. The assignment has been taken away.
I'm like, what
Uh,
investigation need to be done? The teacher said what he said, and
exactly, it's right there. Like
Okay.
he, I don't know. Probably the same investigation they did with the teacher who gave that analogy. Cops equals to KKK. I don't know.
It, different school district, but okay. KB did say, I put it up earlier. I meant it as for society used to be. We got in trouble for chewing gum in school. Now you get in trouble for having knives and guns. Well, you always
Well,
got
we
in.
got in trouble for that.
Yeah, you always got in trouble for having knives and guns.
Brass knuckles were popular.
Um,
Shit.
but as for chewing gum, yeah, back then it was completely different. I believe when they took prayer out of school, it's
No, it was
made.
corporal punishment. Once the teachers and principals stopped paddling the kids, because now it's illegal to hit a child.
Well,
That's what happened.
that's because that new generation came up where babies was having babies,
Hmm.
where it was only a short age difference between the parents and the kids. Instead of raising your kids,
They were
they
just
was
buddies.
friends with their kids. So with that being said,
You
yeah,
fight the kids, the parents fighting. It's like, oh Lord, which one's in my class?
exactly. So I think they need to change some things all the way around. Uh, hold the
And nowadays
parents,
they got safe spaces.
hold the parents accountable for them. Hold these teachers, these police officers, and pay the teachers more.
No kidding. They
Pay
dealing
them
with
more.
all these bad personalities and kids with no home training
The teachers
and
get
no supplies.
they get paid once a month, and
Listen, budgeting ain't no joke in a school district.
hey,
I
you,
worked for a college one year, and listen, I was making minimum wage. And just the last 2 weeks, man, talk about broke. Like the struggle was real. Like you talk about the struggle, that was real struggle. To
exactly,
balance a whole month of check, make sure your bills are paid, and just to live.
exactly.
Oh
Um,
my God.
you are listening to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt Dog. Have Miss Risky in the house on Thursday nights. Hopefully, she start adding more days, but we'll work on that.
I got things to do, man. I got all these projects.
Are you? Have you been writing?
Yeah, I have. You'd be quite proud.
Oh,
I've
okay.
been working more on my trivia game though, because I got to get that out. Like, it's so annoying because the only application I can use with my template is the PowerPoint, and then you have to do the different text box for
Mm,
the different things, and then you can flip it. Like, I couldn't figure out a way to copy and paste the questions and the answers all in one time, so I have to do line by line pretty much. I mean, I'm sure there's an easier way, but right now it's not, and I got like a lot of pages to go.
uh,
It's tedious, but I'm gonna try to do it all this weekend so I can focus on just writing and then worry about the next steps on trying to get the game out.
but
I got a lot of hustles. I got things. I'm a
that's
businesswoman. Got to keep
that's
it
a good
moving.
thing. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to a point where I can start back focusing on my second book, because I do want the first one to come out next year. And if there's any um
Literary agents, publishing companies.
some book agents,
Hasbro, hook me up.
we both have great books. Um, I've actually read. Um, uh, you gave me one or two books. I don't
I
know,
don't remember.
but
I still have like a box. I should start giving away some books to get them out of my closet because I think I'm out of book two, and I think I have just part one and the final one. So
well, you
I need
should.
to check my inventory because I was like, I just got boxes in the closet. I'm like, yeah, I should give these away at some point because I
You
used to do giveaways on Instagram.
You should. Maybe that's what we need to do. Do an Instagram, uh, give a lucky winner a book and a T-shirt.
Yeah.
We still have shirts available, so
I even have
um,
some T-shirts too. I'll hook you up with one. I gotta do inventory. I guess I just need to pull out all my stuff and see what I got.
welcome to the show, Charles Hunt. Thank you for tuning in. Matter of fact, he just ordered a shirt. It'll be there Monday. So he's out of California. Put it in the mail yesterday, so you should get it by Monday. If not, let me know. I'll call the post office, see what's going on. But yeah, they say it'll be there by Monday, so hopefully it'll be on time. But definitely thank you for always tuning in, supporting the show. I actually sent out two shirts going to California. One went to Georgia, and then we had several local shirts that went out this week too. So we definitely getting them out. Um, definitely continue to support the shirts. Um, and if you're interested in the shirt, I just put it up above Risky left shoulder. You could definitely,
Happy.
yeah, that one right there. I
It's
had to
still
do
here.
like this to
Then,
make sure.
yeah.
But
I was like, "Where's my finger?" There it is.
but definitely, you can order the shirts, $25, and you can actually send me an email, and I will tell you all the process for payment, and then we will get the shirt in the mail. I do have some larger size in, so definitely um, reach out to me if you want a shirt. If you want a shirt, risking I might do a Instagram live and give away a shirt on there, a shirt, and also one of her books. Make a combo. So
Yeah, we'll see what.
um,
I'll pull out all my stuff. I'll see what I got.
right. Let me know when you're ready, and we'll set it up.
Yeah, I mean, I have like no plans for the first time this weekend. I have nothing to do but create and do stuff. So that's what I'm gonna do. I don't have to go to the store, nothing. Just be home. And so I'll pull out my stuff and make some room and see what I got.
Well, I'm gonna
If
have to.
everything must go.
I- I'm gonna have to. I'm almost caught up with everything. Then I'm gonna start back writing. Working on some other stuff. You can also follow us on if you listen to podcast stations. Put our name in, speak on it with who you with, Kurt Dog. You can listen to the show on there. We're trying to upload a lot of shows. I know it's on Spotify, Anchor. Um, it's about 6 or 7 platforms it's on, and we're working on some more things. So definitely, um, you working out in the gym? Hey, pull it up, pull it up. Listen to it when I go to the gym. I'm listening to it, trying to see what we can change on the show, and I do it better. We did put the question out again tonight. Before we get off, we'll give you about 5 more minutes. Who was your childhood crush, celebrity crush on? See, I would say who was your childhood crush, but then that might cause some cause some problem in some marriages. Uh, so we're not gonna ask who was your childhood crush. Um, no celebrity, but who was your childhood celebrity crush? Mine's, like I said that night, it was Regina King. Regina King still lives. Just don't tell my wife. But
Now, just saw a comment, and you see this a lot on Facebook, like everybody lumping the Black Lives Matter into an organization. It's not an organization, it's actually saving Black lives. It's not a movement, and they lump it into like these terrorist organizations. It's like, no, like if you turn on the news, black lives, black and brown lives we're like being we're like disposable or expendable, and it's just funny. Like when did Black Lives Matter become an organization? It's not. It's
So
just a
you,
movement. I was just
so you,
looking at one of the comments, and it's like they it looks like they're lumping it into like a domestic terrorist organization, like a sleeper cell.
that's what I was going to ask you. If you're talking about the one that just came in from
Yeah, I
KB,
just
KB, let
also
me.
it's not just KB, but I've seen it
A
all over
lot of people
Facebook,
say it.
and it's
A lot
like
of
no, it's just a movement. It's not an actual like you can't donate to a Black Lives Matter and it goes to a charity like an event. It's just us, all the black and browns.
well, I
Like
want
it's just a movement.
to respond to KB in a nice way. He said it's a sad day when they take a 17-year-old to stand up against domestic terrorists like BLM and Antifa. He just said when you loot and burn and destroy and kill, then it's domestic terrorists.
But
Well,
it's not just those groups. It's like just bad people doing bad things, and you're just focused on those bad things.
well,
Overall, if you look at it, it's just we're trying to bring light to the abuse of the system. That's it.
so
That's it.
KB, I have a question for you. Um, First of all, you're wrong. The ones that are looting and burning stuff, it been proven it wasn't the peaceful protesters. It was the Antifus, and then it was also some other terrorist group that come out, pretend like they part of the march, and they start to do things. And at this point,
Like,
once
remember,
they
there's
start to
actually a
do it,
video of an officer. They were just in a
exactly,
line. He was busting out car windows. Like, it's on video. So it's
and
not the peaceful protesters. They are peacefully protesting and trying to shed light on a serious issue that should have been resolved way back in the 50s during the first movement. Like, and nothing got resolved because people stopped caring. They stop
well,
seeing that they don't see people who aren't like them as human. It's like we're still alien, and it's just ridiculous. And you're just merging. You're just like people are just merging two different cells together and creating one thing. Like if that's the case, then why is like the KKK still able to assemble? They're clearly a domestic terrorist organization and nothing's being done. And they've done more things to destroy household and families, and it's been documented over time. But
well,
nobody wants to talk about that. But the fact that Black Lives Matter has become its thing just to downplay something like a cry for help and a cry for awareness. Like you got to really take a look. It's like what the root of this is like forget all the looting, forget the violence. That has nothing to do with the movement.
well. Also, KB, but you got to also realize if you're gonna say part of it, say it all. Um, you said they chat no peace, and they're peaceful. They say no justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Basically mean we need justice. Because they're saying no justice, no peace, it's other forms that you can do it. Well, if we stop spending our money with people that don't care anything about us, guess what? It's no peace because that particular company is gonna hit their pockets. Um,
And then
as
also,
for
I think again he's misinterpreting the chant. It's like if there's no justice, how can there be peace? Clearly, if your household is being threatened on a daily basis by the government, like you don't know if your kid's going to come home safe from school or whatever because you have fear of this threat. then if there's no justice, guess what? You're not going to be peaceful. You're not going to have peace in your home. You're not going to have peace in the world. And that's what that means. It's like if there's no justice, how can you have peace? Like there is no peace. And so we're crying out, hey, we need equal rights, we need equal justice, we need so we can all be peaceful together and just, live life and raise our families and just do what we need to do just to keep moving.
Now, you want to talk about uh, domestic terrorists? Let's talk about Timothy McVeigh,
Exactly.
Oklahoma City bombing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about all the school shootings. That's domestic
Columbine.
terrorists. Columbine, the one in Florida. You got ones in shooting up churches
And then
in North
recently, I think
Carolina.
Pulse had a anniversary. The gay nightclub that man went up there and shot him up.
Exactly. Or even the shooting that happened in El Paso a little bit over a year ago. Let's talk about those. That's domestic violence,
Exactly, but they never
domestic
say that
terrorism.
because
Eh,
depending on where the scale is on the gray scale is on their skin tone, they're mentally unstable. Oh, they got
exactly.
PTSD,
And
and then
then
the darker you are, domestic terrorists.
and not only that, let's talk about the one that was wanted for killing a couple of people. And most of the guys, when they do mass shooting like that, they're taken in custody, unarmed. They're may stop by Burger King or somewhere, get a meal, get water, whatever. But just like the body cam that was just released of a shooting that happened up in Tulsa earlier this year, where the guy stood over one of the police officers and shot and killed one of them, and the other one is injured. So when you talk about domestic terrorists, that's domestic terrorists. And still, after this guy killed one police officer and was also taken in custody uninjured, he was able to walk in the jailhouse and not carried into the morgue. So when you talk about domestic violence, domestic terrorists, you got to get your stories right. You got to get your stories right because you cannot say BLM is a domestic terrorist when they not doing half of the stuff that domestic terrorists are actually doing, shooting up schools, shooting up Walmart, malls, um, shooting up churches. No, they not doing that. Yeah, but it been a proven fact. If you check your stories, you will see where some of these police department have actually came out and said some of these folks that they arrested for doing these was not part of BLM. They pretend to be part of it. Matter of fact, Rashard Brooks in Atlanta, when he was killed, it wasn't Black Lives Matter that burnt down at Wendy's. It was somebody that was part of another group. But once again, because Black Lives Matter was holding a protest, they the ones that actually got accused of it. So please get your facts together. Just because it's a Black Lives Matter doesn't mean they're a terrorist group. Definitely get your facts together. Other than that, hey, tell a friend. We're on. Share it with them. Click the notification. Follow us for whenever we come on. You know when we on, and we love to chat. So so definitely get your facts together.
Right.
Don't don't try to
And then
um
Google, what is it, Chris Harper Mercer and Dylan Roof. So Google those people just to start, or just domestic terrorist, and and you'll get a wake up call and list of people who should be labeled terrorists but aren't.
that's just like years ago, maybe about 15 years ago when those guys escaped that prison and they killed that officer here. I think it was on Christmas Eve or Christmas night in Irving, and they was on the run for a while. They should have been considered as domestic terrorists because they killed this officer. They was on the run. Think they found a couple of them up in Colorado, and so it's definitely um, those are considered as domestic terrorists. And you're
Yeah,
saying the Democrat
Dylan
Party?
Roof. Yeah, political parties have nothing to do with any of this.
Uh,
Like,
well, in a sense, some of them do because some of them took off their sheets
but
and
it's
got into
on both sides.
politics.
That's the
It's on
thing.
both
Yeah,
sides.
it's on both
It's
sides,
not.
but
It's
it's
not
not
just one political
Republican
party.
versus Democrats and yeah. What is he saying? The Democratic Party is the party of the KKK?
Not the
Not
Republican
necessarily.
Party.
They're both
No,
on, they're on both sides. Like
no,
they're on both sides. Like let's get
yeah,
that out there.
they
Let's
on both sides. So definitely don't believe the hype on that one.
yeah.
Then he's saying, "We won't never see eye to eye. If I believe your facts aren't right." And you say mine isn't. You would never change my mind,
And that's
or I
fine.
mean yours. And
You're entitled to
we
your own
we have
opinion,
to
but
agree
you just have
to
to look at the
disagree.
news and just look at those people and look up what domestic terrorism is. I think you need to realize what that means. And
I
then look
want
up Black Lives Matter and figure out what it is. It's not an organization.
I
So,
won't even say look at the news because
well, yeah, it's skewed, but still, yeah,
certain news gonna portray certain group of people as a terrorist group.
right,
The best way to find out is get to know other people besides just your circle.
right,
Talk to other people and and have a discussion. Get to know somebody of a different race. I don't know what your race is, but get to know somebody of a different race. That's the way I can tell you.
right, and
You
just
will be
listen
surprised.
to what their stories are. Because
Exactly.
like, yeah, we grew up, and no, we're talking about today. This has nothing to do with slavery. We're talking about today. Cops and white people are killing minorities now.
So where have you
like,
been for the last
like,
hour or so?
look, where has he been in like this century?
Because he's talking about
They done brought up slavery.
1860.
Nobody even brought up slavery at all. We're talking about current events. What's going on now?
This is
And
all current
clearly,
event we're talking about.
yeah,
Yeah, we
like,
started off talking about the Sand Creek Massacre
yeah,
because
but
we
and
normally
that's
give a
Native
history piece.
Americans.
Exactly.
But he also missed that part because remember he was looking for Kyle Rittenhouse so he can start battling.
Oh yeah,
Like he was
yeah.
itching while he was playing.
I don't know.
So
Matter of
yeah,
fact,
like dude,
KB, where are you? Where are you located? What state are you in? Because
probably
I'm
Florida.
oh, you hear it all the time over the internet. So you don't believe the videos that you see
Or
where the cops are nailing on people's necks? You don't think it's a problem with that? You don't see it
the brutality,
when a
all
cop shoot a shoot a man.
and even non-cops. Like we're not even. It's just cops are just out there now, but it's also just society where people can actually come up to us because they feel threatened and shoot us in the face because we got too close. People are reporting black people for false crimes because
That's
they
the
know the
Karens we was
cops
talking about.
are going to possibly be hostile. Like they use it as a weapon. Like that's going on now. Like not 1816. This is
Yeah.
now. Like, where do you live? Are you in a bunker? how are you getting this podcast?
Yeah, we're not. He's on YouTube, but we're not going to even talk
I
about
know.
Bonker because,
Like it's just random, like people's thought processes. But it is what it is. And he's not the only one, because like I said, I've seen these threads on Facebook. Some of them are in my peer group, and I let it fly because everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I don't engage with it unless I'm asked. And I still have like some of my poker buddies who are older white men, and they still don't believe that I've ever had any issues because they don't have any problems with me. Like, I can't imagine you having any problems with cops or having racism, and it's just like they have no point of reference. And when you have no point of reference, you can't really understand what another person or minority is going through. Like, and
so
the fact that I'm a black female at that, like, it's like I got double whammy.
so Cal, I mean, I said Cal,
KB.
KB, have a question for you. It came out back in June where this Air Force sergeant charged in killing federal officers at California courthouse. He came up, was in a van, opened the side door, and shot him. I believe one of them died, um, and the other one, I want to say he survived, but he was part of the anti-government Boogaloo movement, and he shot and killed this federal officer. So, how did you feel about that? Was that a domestic terrorist, or what was that? Because in my eyes, it's a domestic terrorist. You doing stuff like that because you mad at the government. I don't understand it. So,
Or a group of people. Like when you antagonize just a group for just being themselves, that's terrorist. Like no ifs, ands, or buts. And that's going on now.
welcome to the show, Ilya Hunt.
Not
He's also in
1600s.
California. Thank you for always tuning in and following the show. Thank you. Your shirt is on the way too. It should be there Monday. So, um, sent it out yesterday. Him and Charles it's in the LA area. So, they both order shirts. So I sent them to him. It's on the way. It should be there Monday. Hopefully, y'all enjoy them and get out, tell a friend about it. But yeah, KB, I'm kind of interested in what you have to say about it. Oh, all have sinned. Yes, we all sin and fall short of the glory. But woo, what you
That's for another. We need to just do a show with KB. Yeah, I need to know your thought processes, bruh.
exactly?
Like, where do you live where this is an issue? Because clearly he's in Mayberry.
Well, he did mention.
Yeah, he did. Tell
He
Aunt
did
B I said,
mention it
hey.
earlier.
Say, hey, girl, hey, Aunt
Is she making that apple pie?
B.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was on earlier, so I don't know if he's still on listening. I know he did come on earlier. Um, hopefully y'all enjoyed. But to you, Jesus, black to you, and he is white to me. Okay,
No, Jesus was like from the Middle East.
okay,
I mean, but then
okay.
again, back then, we don't know what race of peoples they were really,
Well,
technically. But
well,
he was not white.
hold on, hold
He is
on.
not.
See, growing up, they told us about uh, the white, blue eyed Jesus. But if you read the Bible, I'm just saying.
But also, they even tell you where that blonde hair surfer dude came from. It was like the 1600s from some Italian artist. Like that, and then they just kind of ran with it. It was like it had nothing to do with what was actually. No, we didn't
Yeah,
miss your point. We were just making light of it.
exactly. Um,
KV, I just answered that question. I don't think he was black. But again, he wasn't white either.
I don't
With
know.
his
Hair like
bronze
wool,
skin,
bronze
his
skin.
he was, if anything, he was Middle Eastern. But again, the Africa and like the races all kind of mixed together, so it wasn't, they didn't really say what he was, and I don't think
So,
but he wasn't a surfer dude with abs.
so
The chosen people were Jewish. I don't know if he was. I mean, he wasn't white.
well, he said Jesus didn't have long hair.
Right, but in the depictions that you see, he's a blonde hair surfer dude with abs.
Hey,
Mhm.
I, I'm like this. Far as I know, he was a brother. Uh, Hair
Yeah,
like
he was closer
wool.
to us in shade than Caucasian. Mhm. But
Oh
we'll
boy.
end that there.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna leave that one alone because um. But hey, KB, I sure appreciate you coming in. Charles, I did um get your
He's the Son
message.
of God. Are we doing Bible lessons? We're gonna have to do another Bible lesson. We're gonna have to do a special thing where we have like Bible study, and we
Yeah,
just pick a book and go with it.
come back on Wednesday nights.
Yeah,
We'll do Bible study on Wednesday.
because
And
KB has a lot of questions.
yeah, come back on next Wednesday. Um, we'll do Bible
Because
study
the
then.
show is over, KB. You
Exactly.
came in late. You shouldn't have been tardy.
Yeah, yeah. You came in a little bit late today, so we definitely um
But we appreciate you and your comments, keeping it popping.
yeah, we definitely appreciate it. But join us again on Sunday night. Well, I'll be on Sunday. I'm trying to Miss Risky writing books. So
I'm trying and trying to get a trivia game going. I just gotta, lay it out, and then we gotta figure out the next steps, market it, and try to see how we can get it going. Especially during quarantine, like this would be a great trivia game. But
uh,
yeah, I'm still trying to write. Look me up, RSKEE. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, but I hang out on Instagram all the time. On Twitter, riskybooks.com. You can check out my books, although you can buy them on Amazon and Barnes and Noble and pretty much all online shops. Yeah, that's what's up.
and you can follow me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. You can also catch the podcast on Anchor, along with Spotify and several other platforms. Just Google "Speak on It with Who You With Kurt Dog," and all the platforms should come up. If you have a show topic, you can always send me a message, and we can definitely speak on it. We can also talk about it. I know, Ilya, you came in a little bit late. Um, we had asked the question, who was your childhood celebrity crush on? Mine says Regina King. Hey,
And I like me
Regina.
some James Francis because you're gonna have to Google that one up too.
Hey, Regina. Hey, Regina.
It's like, hey James. I still watch Planet Apes. I don't care what anybody says.
Um, I I
I
used to watch it as a child, but
still
hey,
every day
Regina.
because
I
they
have to
always have those specials like Memorial Day, Labor Day, 24 hours. Planet Apes.
I have to go and
Ilya
oh,
says Kim
Ilya
Fields.
said Kim Field.
She was
Tootie,
cute, little toot
woo,
toots.
Tootie, ooh,
She's cute.
yo, Tootie.
I liked her back in
Uh,
the day with them skates. She's so cute.
yeah, Tootie was another one. She was little fox back then.
And then when
Yo,
she got older,
Tootie.
she had the little mushroom hairstyle.
Now, now, see what a lot of people don't realize. Kim Fields, she's still doing a lot of
Oh
work
yeah,
behind the scene because she,
oh yeah, she's
I
still
actually
working.
see her name for producing some of Tyler Perry shows,
Oh yeah,
and
she ain't flouting. She's still in there.
so it's definitely she doing a lot of good things. But Regina King,
Regina's doing a
whew,
lot of good things, and her sister. Didn't you say she has a production
they have
company?
her and her sister have a
Yeah,
production company.
like they
And
doing
matter of
their
fact,
thing.
they just came out with a. I was trying to find it on my phone. Oh, that was on Instagram. I sent you that on. Let me look and see. She just came out with hit a big deal on a movie they just came out with. Let me see. We be sending each other stuff on a different platform. Um,
Yeah, I think you sent that one on Instagram though.
yeah.
But yeah, we doing our things.
The
So
name of her movie that she directed, One Night in Miami, which premieres Monday um, at the Venus Film Festival. So, One Night in Miami. Hey, congratulations, Regina King. Anything you do, I'm all for it. Matter of fact, I used to watch that show she did. It was a police show she did.
like Third Watch, was it one of those?
No, it was
But I know what you're
golly.
talking about because I used to watch that because they had the tall redheaded dude. I think he's in The Walking Dead. But yeah.
Anything she do, I love it.
Oh, have you seen 7 Seconds on Netflix?
Yes, yes. That's another incident, even though that was a movie. But once again, that cop could have solved all of that just being honest. But
Exactly.
instead, what he do? He lied.
Hot and
Then they
tricky.
cover it up. So 7 seconds, yeah. I watched that series and I was like, man, that was ooh, yeah.
That was a lot.
And so, but other than that, we appreciate everyone for tuning in tonight. If you would like a shirt, hit me in the DM. We will. I'll let you know um, how to get it. You can send me an email, and we can respond back, and we'll set it up where we can actually get it out to you. So, um, other than that, anything else you working on, Miss Risky? Before we
That's
go,
it.
all right. Normally we're on here at 8 o'clock. Um, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays. So 8 p.m. Central Time. You can always chat live with us. T Cal coming in at the last minute. Talking about 7 second was the bomb.
It was.
Yes, it was. So you can always chat live with us, and um, we love the interaction. Appreciate it, Il. You have a good night too. Um, T Cal said, "Great show as usual." We appreciate everybody for chatting in. Everybody have their own opinion. Your opinion is welcome, even if we don't agree with them. But if you come with some racist stuff, we're not going to entertain that. So, but other than that, you and more than welcome to have your opinion. KB, thank you for the comments you made. Uh, we are believers of Christ. We are Christian, so that's a big argument to go back and forth. Um, so, other than that, KB, what was that? Cowboy from Hell, T Cal,
Right.
um, T Cal, Ilya, and all the other listeners. And T Cal said, "Play that song again." So we might close out with the theme song. I don't think Ilya was on at the time when we played it, but we got to close out with it and um, give people the opportunity to hear that theme song. You know what's coming up. So other than that, we appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thank you for listening. I'm trying to tune it up before I can get it started as we get ready to go off. So hold on. And until next time, we love you. Peace. Oh, I guess I need to. You told me about going there.
Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Podcast. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Podcast. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Podcast. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Podcast. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Podcast. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Podcast. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Podcast. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Podcast. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome to Speak On It. 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 I'm welcome to Speak. Welcome to Speak. I'm M. 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 I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. Who you with, Kirk Dale?
Hey, we appreciate you for listening tonight. We love each and every one of you. Peace.